Hey YouTube, this is All Saints here, coming up with a video today. Sorry I haven't been able to keep track. I've just been busy with school at our institute at Pittsburgh, just getting my degree in game art and design. But last weekend, Saturday, I came from the Virginia Roanoke Regionals for Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is the deck I ran. It's Dark World Archfiends. I showed this deck profile to you about a month or two ago. And unfortunately, I went 3-5. But overall, the deck for what I wanted it to do, get Archfiend Emperor, the First Lord of Horror, out as fast as possible. It did that very, very, very well. My wins were I went 2-1 against Heretics. I went 2-1 against Blackwings. I went 2-0 against X Sabers. And my losses were Earth Psychic. It was a very close loss. I ended up losing 1-2. He just last game was game three. He just happened to get me down too low with. He hit me with 5 times with what's his name, Redox. He had nothing, no other card but Redox. So that's how I lost. Exodia completely obliterated me. He used the Hope for Escape Exodia. He just had 5 back row. I attacked, hoping I can kill him. At first, I thought he was playing Chain Burn, so I was hoping I can get his life points down to 0 before he can hit mine. But the lower I got his life points, the more Hope for Escape worked, and he used gift card. So in that duel, I ended up having like 16,000 life points, and he ended up drawing 8 cards, and he kept chaining them, and that's how I lost to Exodia both times. I went against another X Saber, and I lost to that one 2-0. I just ran out of defense. Oh, sorry about that. I just ran out of defense to make a comeback. I wasn't drawing any of the traps, and he just kept beating me. Frogs was my next loss. I lost that one 2-1. It was just out advantaging me, and strangely enough, that was a second duel where I lost to an elemental dragon. I lost the title, so that was unfavorable. And then the last one was agents, and that was a very close loss. I lost that one 2-1. The last duel, it ended up being a time limit thing. So it was first 5 turns, and whoever has more life points. So like my second to last turn, I had my wind up Zen mains on the field, and I had Archfiend Harris face down, and all he had was a agent of forgot what it was called, but it was Venus. It was Agent Venus and a Tanky. So I attacked the Venus with wind up Zen mains. I took 100, and at the end phase, it was destroyed. What I guess I should have done was attack with my Trick Archfiend or Archfiend Harris, drop him down to 44, but mine was like 39, and I had a face down D prison, so I thought I was safe. And then he top decked a Master Hyperion, and then he destroyed my back row, and then I lost just like that. So that was how I lost that duel. And each and most of my duels, I've won at least one duel. So I mean, this deck has the potential. I mean, one thing that did surprise a lot of people was that they surprised I was playing Archfiends, and they were shocked by Archfiend Emperor's effect. They were shocked by Cavalry's effect, and most of the time they were just shocked at how very synergetic this entire deck is. The one thing I did have a problem with was the same thing with Dark Wolves, is that they tend to draw bad hands. Like, there are times I opened up with all Dark World cards, but no dealings, no art trans Archfiend to discard them, nothing. So I was just stuck in my hand. That was actually happened with my loss to X Sabers. Another thing is that my field tends to be empty because most of these are in the graveyard due to this card's effect or this card's effect or that card's effect. So I tend to have an empty field, but I have back row. But sometimes, just like Slimex Synergy says, you get 3 types of hands. You either draw great, you draw okay, and you draw bad. Most of the time, I don't draw good. I either draw okay. I most of the time draw okay, and very rarely I draw bad. So this is the type of deck that I'll just draw okay in. But overall, I like the deck. It sucked that I went 3 and 5, but I want the Archfiend not Cavalry Commander. He's the one that special summons itself if I control an Archfiend. I hope it comes out in Shadow Specters, but if it does, then I'm gonna change this build dramatically. Like I won't even include. I'll probably take out all the Dark Worlds and then put in other stuff because I like the deck. It did pretty well. There's a regional coming up in Maryland next month, and I don't know if I'll run this deck. I probably won't. In fact, I actually took this apart because I'm working on this deck right here, which is Chain Beat. And the only reason I took the other deck apart is because I needed the traps. I didn't have extra copies of traps. So this is the deck It's actually built. I just need to make some changes. I like the Chain Beat control aspect because you have a Thunderbird, you have Wind Up Rabbit, you have the Rhinos that can return to your hand. These guys just know how to escape and then just punish your opponent for just using up resources. So I took a look at there was a guy, his name was Wilson Zhang, I believe his name was. He used a Black Garden version of his, but I just wanted to make it more anti-meta-ish. So you have you have the Thunderbirds, you have the Wind Up Rabbit, and then I decided to main deck the Fossil Dyna, which stops practically any deck from special summoning. It doesn't harm my deck because I don't special summon. I put in 2 bears, and these cards are very good for one removal. Then I added the Winged Rhinos because it also bounces whenever a trap card activates, and I have plenty of traps to do that. One Seal the Orichalcos just gives them all an extra 500 attack, makes this one 2150, 1900. This gives Fossil Dyna 1700, which is good. Bear 2100 and Winged Rhinos 2300. Also, it can protect Fossil Dyna if I have another monster on my side of the field, which oftentimes it does. So, it gives Fossil Dyna a little more leeway. Dark Hole, self-explanatory. 2 Power Duality. I wanted 2 because I thought 3, every time I use 3 Power Dualities, I tend to reveal the other 2, which is kind of strange how that happens, but yeah. 2 of those. And then 3 Ego Boost. What this does is whenever a monster attacks, you target them on face of monster on the field, it gains 1000 attack. So this is very useful for all my monsters because one thing my Thunderbird is very vulnerable to is battle. So if my opponent decides not to use any effects so he can destroy it in battle, I can use this and raise his attack to 2650, which can practically beat most monsters in the game. With Seal of the Calcos, his attack becomes 3150, and if he's been returned, his attack can potentially be 3350. So let's see here. Thunderbird total 29. Yep, 33. Actually 3450. So he can get pretty big pretty quick, and it helps all the rest of the monsters as well. It can even trigger a Bear's effect as well. Shrink, same thing, can also trigger Bear's effect. So I have 2 tankies because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 targets for it. I have a Tensu, and now for the traps. Bottomless, Solemn Warning, 2 Phoenix Chain, 1 Torrential, 1 Compulse, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Dimensional Prison, 2 Mirror Force, 3 Escape Device, and then 2 two-pronged attack. I looked at two-pronged attack, and it says select and destroy 2 of your monsters and 1 of your opponent's monsters. Now, this is not a cost of. This is actually an effect, so I can target a Wind Up Rabbit and a Thunderbird or a Winged Rhinos, and then target one of my opponent's monsters and destroy them. But the good thing is, Winged Rhinos returns to my hand. Wind Up Rabbit can banish itself, and Thunderbird banishes itself. So what happens is my opponent ends up losing more cards than I will. I'll lose the 2-pronged attack, and whatever other cards I target that banish itself, but my opponent loses more out in the end. Same thing with compulsive escape device. I may lose my monster for the turn, but it comes back at the end and my opponent ends up losing. So that's my deck right there that I'm currently working on. It's mostly complete. I just need the bears and the rhinos. Those aren't hard to get at all. But yeah, let me let you know what you guys think, and if you have any suggestions about my Archfiend deck that I could do in the future, just fill out in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.